So right now we're in this series talking about friendship, the importance of it, why we need it, what friendship plays in our lives. And on the first week of this series, I talked about the friendship that exists between Lazarus and Jesus. And what's really interesting about that is that was really a sermon from silence. The scriptures don't give us any information about the friendship between Jesus and Lazarus, but they definitely hint at the idea that there's something there off the page between the lines that clearly exists. When Lazarus is introduced, we're told that he is the one that Jesus loves. When Jesus sees that he's died, he breaks down weeping after he has been resurrected. And Jesus is about to head back to Jerusalem for his Passion Week, and in all of the turmoil and pain and suffering that's going to happen, Jesus returns to spend time with Lazarus. So it's quite clear that there is a pre-existing relationship between these two men that we don't have access to. It exists off the page between the lines for us to speculate about. And this is a really interesting thing. First, that Jesus has friendships that were just for him. They're not for us. They were there as part of his humanity and the way that he experienced friendship in the world around him. And they're actually private to him, which I think is really fascinating. But beyond that, this is a really interesting example of how we are meant to and invited to read creatively and allow the Spirit to speak to us as we imagine what's going on off the text. The gospel writers do this regularly, where they give us these hints and these glimpses that are meant to spark our imagination and our creativity, to wonder about what exists off page, to wonder about what Jesus was like in the spaces that we don't get access to. In fact, the Gospels tell us that there was all kinds of things that Jesus did that couldn't be recorded and couldn't be written down. Just like any other human being, he had a full, robust life, and all of that doesn't get recorded for us. And sometimes we call this lectio Davina, sometimes we call it spiritual reading, but this ability to read the text and then be captivated and fascinated by these little hints that the Gospel writers give us, then to speculate and wonder and be creative about who Jesus was and what these texts might be opening up for us. This is actually a really important part of learning to read the scriptures well, because they're not the whole story. They are something that is meant to invite us into an encounter with the person of Jesus. Being creative, allowing your imagination to run wild, this is a really important part of that. And so as much as we want to talk about friendship, I really hope this becomes an entry point for you into practices like spiritual reading and lectio Davina, and just allowing your creativity to run wild and be sparked by what the Gospels give us when it comes to Jesus. So have fun.